Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, March 13th, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. The richest person is the one who is contented with what he has. The richest person is the one who is contented with what he has. Robert C. Savage. Judging nothing is the way to enlightenment. When the mind drops its ideas about how things should be and accepts what is as it is, then we start experiencing a great liberation inside. This amazing freedom from judgment happens when we are not attached to any particular thought. We are experiencing thoughts flowing through us, yet not clinging to them. Our lives then become a journey of letting go of the small, limited self who was wrapped up in ideas and begins stepping into the vast, boundless, unlimited potentiality of who we truly are. The day all our judging drops, total inner peace floods in, and a wave of healing, and deeper relaxation expand out into this world. Very interesting thing happens. When we stop judging ourselves, others, or the world, we start feeling at liberty to explore, experience, and merge with everything this life has to offer. There is no more defending, avoiding, and protecting against those bad things out there, because we see that everything is divinely orchestrated. Have you ever watched someone receive a loving, healing message? The longer we watch, the more our bodies will give in, relax inside, and feel as though they're receiving the message. What we focus on is what we become. Once we truly know this, we will not judge ourselves or another ever again. We will only choose to see the divine. If all we perceived in this world was enlightening and liberating, then guess what starts happening in our inner world? The mind's ideas of right and wrong are not opposites in this universe. They are complementary. One depends on the other to exist. Yet, whenever we can free our minds from both sides of the pendulum of morality, our entire reality shifts, causing everything to gently expand. The beautiful thing about the mind is we can always change it. Lisa Guyman. There is nothing wrong with judgment. It's simply a tool to indicate when we are living from our ego up in the head. Judging lets us know we are about to create an extra burden to carry, making this life's journey heavy and arduous. This experience is needed so as to make us more aware and conscious of what we are choosing to believe. A mind that is truly unattached to all beliefs gives space for us to be divinely, infinitely connected with our infinite selves. This infinite, eternal soul that we are no longer is some imaginary idea jostling up in our heads, and it becomes our living experience of this life. The unattached mind acts like a perfect mirror, reflecting the qualities of good and bad that the mind discerns, yet never possessing them. It becomes free, like the limitless sky above that knows no boundary or end. A person starts to live when he can live outside of himself. Albert Einstein. The logical, judgmental mind is no match for the spiritual being that we are. The instant we see this, surrender, and we'll instantly drop into being the infinite, eternal souls that we already truly are. This wipes the mind clean of all perceptions and deceptions. We are not attached to our mind unless we believe we are. We are the masters of our minds. The mind is a tool to access experiences of the limitless, all-pervading self. The moment we see that we are all connected spiritually, and if we harm another, we are harming ourselves. Then the search is over, and enlightenment is found. They are just aspects of us anyway, since nothing is separate from our source. So the next time the mind judges someone or something as good or bad, right or wrong, or whatever, take it in. See what it is that you were judging about you. Look at what experience you were most needing to have in that moment and how that judgment was an attempt in creating it. When the mind is truly free and only a pure awareness resides, then enlightenment simply happens. I'll tell you this is the time. Forget the seeker. It is the biggest illusion. It's all happening now. Coinzagers. So my invitation for you this week is very challenging. Watch your mind closely. Notice when it's judging. Don't try to control, reject, or resist it. Let the judgmental pendulum swing, yet let it truly swing to both extremes. Let both opposing sides be true so that they cancel each other's out. The mind may continue pulling you to just one side, saying only this can be true, and that is definitely not true. Excuse me. Yet simply investigate what beliefs your mind is attached to. What outcome is it attached to manifesting? What happens when the mind is wrong and you are right? The mind is very sneaky. It can make any particular idea it's God because your survival depends on it. It is brilliant at making up these fantastic stories about reality and makes you believe they are true. The entire time, it is just trying to attain some private goal. Love, freedom, joy, safety, security, or something like that. Don't believe in the mind. You are an infinite being. You are a soul already connected to God. You're not going to die. You will go on after your body retires. So you just relax, sit back, and enjoy the ride. Life is a river of meaningful experiences. When you are flowing with the true meaning in it, unknown author. We expand, we contract, we expand, we contract, we expand, we contract. It's an endless journey. And the majority of us are controlled by the ego mind, never discovering that they are illusions, and never really understanding that the body is temporary, that they believe that they are the body. That's why so many people are frightened when they get to the end of the usefulness of that body they're in, and they know that that body is no longer going to be. We have, obviously, on this planet an awakening. And we see, and when you step outside, when you actually step outside everything, and you're viewing your ego, mind, and you're watching how things play out, you're really not judging them, you're just watching. You will see how things are being self-annihilated. The very things that were created by low frequency are being destroyed by low frequency. All the systems that were put into place to enslave the people of planet Earth are systematically being destroyed by the very beings that created it. And we watch this because we learn. That's what we're in this life for, to learn. I don't care if you're 150, to learn. You're always learning. Doesn't matter if you're 12,000 years old, you're always learning. So we watch and we learn. We watch the ego mind, and we say the ego mind, and you get to the point, that's an ego mind thought. I'm not going to engage. I don't care to engage in that. These feelings that are being churned up, ego mind generated. In heart-mindedness, you feel peace with yourself, genuineness. You're not concerned about what anybody thinks of you, or period. And this is the transition. You might as well call it the evolution of this civilization. And what is the evolution? The evolution is finding out who and what we are. And that's by choice, because we're not cognizant to that. We stumble upon it, and then we pursue it. The God within is the guide that will eventually help us get there. We have the possibilities are endless to go within and shift your energetic frequencies into high frequencies of love for yourself, self-love, peace, joy, bliss, contentment. And these are all things that are evolutionary in this civilization. Most of us, we know, are in the rat race. We know that. We were in it at one time. However brief. So when we look at this entire, how it's all been laid out. And remember, we're watching. We're not participating in ego mind. And it's clearer. It's much clearer, the understanding. And you begin to see how all of it has been laid out for us to discover that it is not the lives we wish to live, not the lives we want to live. And it is not the planet that we want to live on. And we start identifying with the fact that our vibrational frequencies continue to increase genuinely through the heart mind, then the acceleration of the evolution of this civilization is in full swing. Full swing. We don't, it's superfluous. This rodeo, this game that has been played generation after generation after generation, is collapsing. Or, if you will, the curtain is closing. It no longer exists. And the residual of it is clamoring for everyone's attention. The boogeyman, right? That's the ego mind. And the ego mind will do everything it can on a continual basis to seduce us back into its mastership and control, where we judge everything, where we're stressed, right? We're worried, we're fearful. All of those things, ego mind generated. And we have a choice. We could just say, I don't care to be engaged or in any of that. I've been there. We've done it, been it so many times that it's absolutely ridiculous that we would even have the motivation to dip into it again. We are seeing, this is absolutely, when you're watching it without judging it, it is absolutely exhilarating because you're witnessing the end of the dark influence of planet Earth. The antimatter of the matter. The opposite. And we are moving into the direction, and higher frequencies, of a God-planet paradise. We're not engaging in this old, antiquated rigmarole, this game that constantly is playing. It's like a record that skips and it goes back, right? And it plays it again, and it plays it again. And many of us have identified this and said, that's our power that we are is directed towards us. Okay? Loving ourselves, being kind, gentle, and generous, and humble with ourselves, eliminating anything that we're carrying within us. Anything, whatever it is. You're the only one that knows that. No one else knows that. We'll ever really know it, for the most part. And then you identify that you'll say to yourself, why am I carrying this around? Let's take a good look at it and see why I'm carrying it around. You'll be amazed. It'll vanish. And anything that we're carrying around, hidden secrets or things that we've, maybe last lifetime before this one, who knows? And it weighs us down. And once we are liberated, we liberate ourselves from that. And we walk closer and closer, step closer and closer within the gods that we are, within this body. And we become freer and freer. And the attention that we once were called upon to divert our power towards creating doom and gloom in the boogeyman, right? We don't have an interest in that anymore. We're not, yes, and there are those who are asleep, who haven't discovered who and what they are. Maybe not this lifetime for them. Maybe it'll be the next lifetime, or maybe the next, or the next. But those of us who are aware to a certain extent, we know what we're creating. We're creating a God-planet paradise. Major mind-blowing technologies introduced. You're talking about everything that the low frequencies created on this planet, in this very now, up to now. We're all done on low frequency. Hatred's low frequency. Revenge is low frequency. Right? Worry is low frequency. Stress and fear, anxiety are low frequency. Greed, manipulation, never having enough power, never having enough control, is all controlled by the ego mind. Those are all generated by the ego mind. conflict, destruction, seduction, all of it created by ego mind. But see, knowing that, and the only way to master the ego mind, as they are tools for us, the only way to master them is to step outside them, leave them alone. And then you watch, and you see these thoughts come in. You feel them come in, you automatically know. No matter how, it's very tricky, because the thoughts that come in at times will make you believe you're operating from your heart mind. You swear up and down it. I'm operating from my heart mind. You're not. The ego mind's real tricky to make you believe that you are. How do you know you're operating from the ego mind? Well, you can identify the thoughts coming in from, without judgment, the thoughts coming in from the ego mind. That's how you know that you're discovering that we are not the ego mind. Okay? We are not the character, we are not the personality, we are not our names. We are not our belongings. Because that's the body. It isn't the God. And we were able to view without interaction. These are the things that you'll know, and not judgment, but you'll just know that more and more you will stop interacting with the ego mind. And at times you'll find yourself just in a still, you will just freeze. And you'll leave the ego mind. And how do you know that? Because when you freeze, and you're just, and sometimes this happens to us, everything's gone. You could just start staring out into nothingness. You could be doing something. You just stop and you stare. And you're not there. You are not in the ego mind. You're in the now. And you're just staring, and there's no thoughts coming in. And worries aren't there. Stresses, fears, and anxiety aren't there. None of it. Conflict's not there. Hatred, greed, anger, not there. None of it's gone. And that's the now. Because only in the now do we are able to leave the mind and ego alone. And then we start identifying. That's an ego mind thought. I'm not interested in that thought. And it just passes you by. We're in this context, we are becoming aware of this illusion. We're definitely becoming aware of it. Now, I'm not saying it happens overnight, but once you begin to understand for yourself that this is all ego mind contrived, and it's not blaming anything, see? You're not pointing the finger at the ego mind. You're saying, the ego mind is here to teach me some things. Okay? And that's a good thing. And it could become a very useful tool. But not forever, because eventually we master it, and it realizes that it's no longer needed. In other words, you then begin to move energies in form at will. Create them into reality and experience them, because you know. You say, this is what I would like to experience. And then you create it. This is after we are free from the ego mind. And we're free from the rat race. And we have surrendered and let go anything that has bound us and stymied us and kept us from freeing ourselves. Because we all know that we are in very interesting times, aren't we? We literally are having the opportunity to witness the end of low dark matter frequencies. And the low survival mode frequencies beginning to dissipate. What are the low survival matter frequencies, right? That's when you'll do anything, destroy anything to be in charge. And the lower dark matter frequencies are the anti-life. 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 The lower dark matter frequencies are anti-life. Period. It does not register with those frequencies. Life, love, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness. Those are high vibrational frequencies. First, for thyself, for you. See, this is all about you. This comes for you. This is for you to decide, you to determine. Now, do I take that step within and keep moving within? Am I really done with the external reality, which is the illusion? No, we create all this for entertainment. We just didn't know we were creating a lot of things for dark entertainment, low frequency, sluggish, mud, stuck, quicksand, sucking us right into it. Okay? Totally oblivious. But then after so many challenges, so to speak, adventures, some of us begin to say, this isn't supposed to be. Now you're discovering that you have created the life that you currently are living right now. It sounds negative. You created the life that you're living right now. It does not mean that you were consciously aware of it. You just kind of went along with the flow from other people's thoughts. But now you're unraveling everything. You're beginning to understand that, wait a minute. I'm the master. Period. I'm the guide. What I desire, right? All of us deserve the best of everything. We always have. We've just been programmed to believe that we don't deserve the best of everything, right? That we don't deserve the best of everything. That we are small, powerless, numb, insignificant, guilt-ridden, reserved. It's self-abusive, disrespectful. You see how it all works? It starts with us, and then it spreads. That's not like we're intentionally spreading it, but that affects many other people, and then it draws those low frequencies your way. And this is why so many people get frustrated, exacerbated, because they don't understand, why does this keep coming? Why do, and so they say, why do they keep experiencing this? Then they start to discover, well, I'm doing it. My frequency is attracting, it's literally attracting all the things that I'm experiencing. So if you have someone that constantly harps on being that they're down and out, that they don't deserve to be in the life, and it should be better for them, it's just going to continue for them. And not only continue, but get even heavier. And this is why we catch ourselves, right? It's in the heart mindset. That's an ego mind thought. You can identify them. They're real easy to identify. The ones that you would say to yourself, this really feels like my thought. Because it will, say. But then you go, yeah, but it's low frequency. And I don't care to emit low frequency. My direction is to emit high frequency. Love for myself. Always with you first. Then once you discover you, then it goes out around you and affects many others. This is why that relationships, because we haven't discovered ourselves. How are we going to discover anyone else outside of us? We're not. No matter how much we try. It just isn't going to work. It never has. But when you form higher frequencies through the heart mind, knowingly, everything begins to elevate, ascend, step by step. And the more you're consistent with it, the more you elevate. Your mood changes, your feelings about things, your attitude, your direction. It all changes. And every one of us have this power. And nobody is higher than anybody else. So you begin to identify with the fact that I am the God. Now, I am this supreme, omnipotently powerful being that never dies. A super manifester. So when you start to discover this, and the switch is turned on, you begin to identify certain things. You engineer and orchestrate things that you desire. And it's fun. You do it, but you do it without being super attached and having expectations. Yeah, you enjoy it. You're looking. You'll be happy when it does arrive, but you're not fixated on it. You're not obsessed with it. You haven't built a whole thing around it, dependent upon it happening, coming into fruition. And we all have this ability within us. In fact, everything that we have sought outside of ourselves already exists within us. Isn't that something? We spend all of our lives outside of ourselves. We hardly even give our spirit, the spiritual essence of the gods that we are, a second thought. Most of us have been pre-programmed to believe that everything is outside of us. The God is in the sky, watching us. Everything is outside of us. Instead, when you start kneeling to you, worshiping you, and the God that you are in that body, and we're not talking about arrogance, conceit, narcissism, none of that. We're talking not ego. That's all ego mind. We're talking heart mind. So it's a loving understanding and discovery. It's not a ego-minded discovery. You can feel it. You can feel the vibratory frequencies of right in your heart of this shift, this changing that's going on right now. Now, the frequencies may be stretching and pulling your physical body, right? Where you will You might wake up in the morning and feel like you got hit by a bus, and you can't figure out why. Just know that, when a civilization has been dipped in low frequency without really being knowledgeable about it, okay, that they believe that that's the way it is. When the frequencies get higher, eventually all of us will feel like we've been hit by a bus. It won't last forever, but our bodies aren't used to these higher and higher and higher and higher frequencies. So the body has to adjust, and it does. You might have like old injuries come back, or 50 years ago you broke your ankle and now it's bothering you, and these aren't. It's not biological. It's spiritual, and it's organic. So the body's adjusting. Remember when you used to sleep really good, and then all of a sudden, out of the clear blue, you're having difficulty sleeping deeply. And these are awarenesses that we carry, that we identify with. They're not ominous doom and gloom. It's great because we're discovering these things about ourselves. And remember, we're downstream, not upstream. We're floating downstream, much different. And we are literally practicing on an ongoing basis to be in the now and to embrace the gods that we are within these bodies. And there's a journey to that, part of our journey, our endless journey. And then once we open that door, you won't care to turn back, right? Everything will come into clarity. You'll witness, you'll have epiphanies, right? You'll have clarity. And you'll be viewing it not from a judgmental standpoint. You'll view it as watching it all transcend. And what does this mean for you? Well, you're stepping into a God-planet paradise. In the beginning stages of it. And you will find it difficult, and some people are already experiencing this, you'll find it difficult to get angry, irritated, mad, revengeful, greedy. These feelings, these thoughts will fade. It won't entertain you any longer. You're just not entertained by it. You don't care to indulge in it, okay? And we will be drawn more and more to helping one another. It has nothing to do with what color the suit is. It is so low frequency because we're all sacred. Every one of us is sacred, omnipotently powerful, spiritual beings that never die. We won't fight life. We will flow with life. We will exude life. We will embrace it. And since the gods that we are made of pure love, light, energy, and then we literally open ourselves up, and that spreads everywhere, then you can start to understand what a God-planet paradise is like. The end of pollution, the end of starvation, the end of hatred, the end of anger. And some people would say, well, we've got to get angry because it helps us. Sure it does. But you begin to understand that your self-motivation is now the God that you are, not the body. that you're in. And things will move forward. And they won't be strayed. They won't be strained. You won't hang on to things anymore. You'll let them go because you will know deep inside that you'll be able to create and manifest anything you desire. So you won't have that worrisome thing from the ego mind where you're afraid to lose this or you're afraid to lose that or not having this or not having that. That'll be gone. And as we progress as a civilization in New Earth, we will begin to manifest things almost instantaneously, but from the heart mind, not the ego mind. The ego mind will begin to take a back seat. We will use it as a tool at times in good direction and high frequency direction, but that's about it. Remember, this is an endless journey. We will begin to progress more and more and more. And the time will come where we will shed these bodies. We won't need this construction of a body. We'll have another body, a different body. It's quite exciting. But see, to not get ahead of ourselves, instead of projecting out there, which is what? Expectation, attachment, we're in the now. All that is going to come automatically when you embrace the God that you are and not the body that you're in. If we take care of the body, you'll be able to heal your body with the God that you are in that body. Okay? This is not tomorrow, but this is a glimpse of those who have chosen to. That's it. Those who have chosen to and knowingly increase their vibrational frequency on a day-to-day basis and sustain that frequency. And I'm not talking about everybody, skipping and, jump roping and hugging and laughing and, but slowly but surely. And I've said this before. During this week, course of this week, maybe, for yourself, you see a playground, pull over, go sit in a swing, right? Sit on the merry-go-rounds, the barred merry-go-rounds. Stand on one of those. Run a little bit, push it, and stand on it. Close your eyes, hold on to the bars, and be still as a statue. I mean, there's a lot of things we can do that you don't even have to pay a penny for to experience the childlike energy that is in you, every one of us. But see, what happens is we are so seduced by the matrix that, oh, you're too old to do that. You shouldn't be doing that. You could hurt yourself. See, all of these constraints, and if you believe it, you'll create it. Like attract likes, whatever you focus on is moved into reality for you to experience. So this is about going within, shedding these things, and not visiting them again. That you come back up, they get less and less and less and less. This is a magna glorious experience in this part of our journey, period. It's very uplifting. And people say, well, how could you be so uplifting? Look at all this. The world is ending. It's like the Chicken Little, oh, the sky's falling. And it's actually the opposite. And we continue to embrace more of the gods that we are. Then we continue to expand more, going to higher and higher frequency. And the old dies. The old, dank, dark goop that has gripped this planet and its civilization for so long is eliminated. Not through bombs and conflict and hatred and greed and manipulation and dishonesty, but through our frequencies. And more, how do you think, or how do you feel, right? It would be, and remember, anything's possible. And there are no limitations, ever. Just what your ego mind portrays as limitations. What do you think would happen if the majority of us on this planet were in that high frequency by choice, and every day we keep increasing it, little bit at a time? It would affect the whole planet. It would literally vaporize the lower dark matter frequencies. They wouldn't be able to operate. Okay. And so the cat's is let out of the bag, because this is what's been played on us for thousands of years, to be distracted, diverted, right, away from the gods that we are. Since we're in these bodies with amnesia, pretty easy trick to play, isn't it? Lifetime after lifetime, where we're tricked. And all along, we are such powerful beings that we could shift it all of it. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us all. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Be still. Take a deep breath right now. Your breath is your pathway to peace. Each time you breathe deeply, you reconnect with the eternal stillness of the core of your being. So if and when you are stressed, simply stop and breathe slowly and fully. Your breath will always guide you back to the truth of who you are, the God. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We will return here Tuesday, March 14th, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. And this Wednesday, we're going to have a real humdinger of a Time for Change call. Be good, be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. And be in deep gratitude. It makes a lot more sense being in deep gratitude than being disgusted or disappointed or having lower frequencies day to day. 10 a billion times better.